What's up, guys? Today we review the One Punch Man collab rerun box. Saitama used to be a very competent nuker, and also one of the go-to nukers back in the day. Today, he is practically unusable as there are many better nuke options than him. But now he just got recently buffed, and now has a 200,000% true arts multiplier. He is now the single highest true art multiplier in the game by a whole 90,000 next to Celsius. His normal arts also got a small buff of a 10,000% damage increase on arts and a 10-second duration increase on his own self arts gen. But because Saitama is a nuker, this is quite mediocre and you probably would never really use his normal arts to begin with. Now for his Dream Awakenings. His Crimson Dream increases his own damage by 100% to demons and dragons, while his Luminous Dream increases his damage by 100% to gods and beasts. This is a relatively simple Dream Awakening, and also quite the interchangeable Dream Awakening. But more bosses are related to that of demons and dragons than compared to that of gods and beasts. So I would probably run the Crimson Dream, as those types of bosses are much more common. He is a good unit to pull during this collab if you don't have him already. The next unit we cover is Tatsumaki. First, her normal art got a 5,000% damage buff and now deals 22,000% earth damage. But no change to the 25% magic res lower effect. Her true arts got a whole 2.1875 times increase in her multiplier. So now it's 70,000%. The paralyzed effect didn't change, but her break power for the team got doubled from 50% to 100%, which, by the way, is the highest break power given for the entire team. There are some solid buffs to her base kit, but really she doesn't offer much when you get into break. Next, her Dream Awakenings. Her Verdant Dream increases break power against water units by 100%, which is instantly very bad as it's a very specific enemy that you have to break. Her Luminous Dream, on the other hand, increases all allies max HP by 10% and autofills all Earth units arch gauge by 2 per second. This is probably what you run on her as it benefits the team more. Downside being that the arch gen is exclusive to Earth units, but even then it's still much better than that of the Verdant Dream. She is an okay unit to pull during this collab. Also be noted that Tatsumaki as a breaker doesn't provide much else to the team, compared to units like Arthur and Chloe, which can art gen and give elemental resistance down. Furthermore, she doesn't have a reward for breaking any boss. Next is the self-proclaimed strongest ninja, Sonic. His buffs are okay. His art's got a 7,000% damage buff, so now it deals 25,000% dark damage, while also having a 5-second increase and an extra 2 APS on arts. His true art's got a 25,000% damage increase, so now it deals 65,000% dark damage, and no change to its effect. Now for his Dream Awakenings. His Aqueous Dream increases his own arch gauge by 200 at start of quest, and increases all allies' physical damage by 30%, while his Spectral Dream increases his own crit damage by 60%, and autofills dark units arch gauge by 2. Both of these are good for different purposes, of course. His Aqueous Dream is really good for instant nuking and helper rewards farming in multiplayer, while his Spectral Dream helps with more of a sustain-oriented comp. Overall, I'd run the Aqueous Dream as nuking is his main job, but you can also run the Dark one if you feel it is better, because both of them are good. And he is definitely a W unit to pull during this collab. Fubuki's buffs are actually quite insane. First, her art's got a 6,000% damage buff, so now it deals 20,000%, and she now has an 80% chance to faint enemies, while also increasing all allies' BE output by 100% for 20 seconds, which is 20% more faint chance, 20% more BE output, and a whole 10-second duration increase on her arts. Her true arts also got a whole 2.17 times damage increase, so now it deals 65,000% damage, while also increasing all allies' magic damage by 200% and reducing the enemy's magic resistance by 30% for 15 seconds. While in the past, it only dealt 30,000% damage and only increased magic damage by 120% without the magic res lower effect. These buffs actually make her a pretty competent unit. Her Dream Awakenings are also pretty good. Her Aqueous Dream increases all allies' fire resistance by 20% and increases her own break power against fire units by 100%. Well, this Aqueous Dream is specific to fire, and I wouldn't run this. While her Verdant Dream increases all allies' magic damage by 40%, while also increasing human units arch gauge by 2 per second. Overall, you definitely run the Verdant Dream, as humans are much more common in the meta, and a free magic damage increase is always appreciated over whatever the Aqueous Dream provides. Overall, Fubuki has probably received the best buffs out of all the units in the collab. In my opinion, the best unit to pull during this collab if you don't have her. Our last unit we're gonna cover is Garo. Garo received the whole 14,000% damage increase on his arts, and now deals 33,000% damage on arts. He now also reduces enemies' evasion rate by 70% and increases his own accuracy and skill CP speed by 70% for 20 seconds. His true arts received a 30,000% damage increase and now deals 80,000% damage, while increasing his own arts damage by 100% for a total of 500%. So this is a pretty massive damage increase from before. His Dream Awakenings are also pretty decent. His Crimson Dream increases his own arts by 5 per second when near death, and increases his own status, ailment, resistance, and evasion by 80%. While his Spectral Dream increases his own damage by 100% against enemies who are below 30% health, and increases his own arts gauge by 200 at the start of quest. You would definitely run the Spectral Dream, as maintaining near death is incredibly difficult. And 200 arts is always appreciated when it comes to ramping up the true arts much faster. Overall, Garo is a competent ramping DPS in the meta as of right now. Garo can also be used in stages where accuracy is required, as 140% is a pretty decent amount that is standard for most accuracy DPS units. By the way, we're getting the One Punch Man units in the upcoming Forever summons. So that's pretty crazy and new for once. For the banner, I recommend simply doing your guarantee, as Kill la Kill and Faith have better units. Also, skip the equip summons, they're all pretty bad, though if you get Sonic's Katana, that's a pretty cool one, as that is 1 APS.